Welcome back, everybody, to ReelTime RoundTable, where we give you the best Hollywood-related news on YouTube. I am your co-host, Josh Williams.
I am also your co-host, Jordan Burke.
So today here on ReelTime, you saw we did not have a cold opening today because we're doing something a little different today. Right now, we are on spring break. How's your spring break going so far?
It's fantastic. It's going great.
I'm not
How's
doing
yours?
a whole lot. Just
me
working
either.
and watching a lot of movies and TV.
Yeah.
Playing video games, a little bit of Magic here and there.
Magic?
Yeah, Magic the Gathering. Have you ever heard of it? Oh, it's like, I'll explain it to you later. It's a card game. It's one of my other things I like to do.
Oh, I thought you meant like
no,
you're into Magic.
No, like real.
I was
no,
like, whoa,
I cannot make a bird pop out of my.
Cool.
No, I wish I could.
Do a
That'd
trick
be cool.
right now. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. It's gone. See, it's gone. So to here on ReelTime today, since it is spring break for us, we're going to be doing a little bit of a get to know us. We realized a lot of you in the audience did not really know who we are. Now, my fans on ReelTime, I've done this before on my actual YouTube channel. I've done this before for them. They kind of know who I am, but they don't get to know you either. So this is going to go on my YouTube channel as well.
And we don't really know a whole lot about each other.
We don't. Like, we know, I'd like to say the basics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but we don't know, like,
things. Yeah.
all of the details.
So what we're going to do here, I think sounds good to you. We're going to kind of get briefly about our lives, where we're from, kind of stuff like that. And then we actually have questions from audience members who we had brought in from last week's episode. So let's go ahead. We'll get into those afterwards. But let's start off with you. We'll go youngest first.
I am the youngest.
I mean, if you're older than me, you look extremely young.
I'm a time traveler. Fun fact, time traveler.
But yeah, so I know briefly you said you're from this area. But are you born and raised in this area? Okay.
Yep. I am from a tiny town. Not that tiny, right off Highway 70, called Boonville. But I was born in Columbia. So I was born in Columbia. About a year later, my family moved to Boonville, and then we had a brother, which is fun. But I'm from Boonville. It's about 8,000 people.
Okay.
So, tiny. Big enough that you don't know everybody, but every time you go to Walmart, you will run into someone you know. At least one person, if not more.
I live in Clinton right now, and that's how it is right now. Like, I cannot go somewhere without saying, oh, hey, what's up? What's going on? How's it going?
Yeah.
So you have a brother.
I do have a brother.
Okay.
I love my brother.
What got you into this? What was your childhood like? Stuff like that.
So, into digital media and into film.
Yeah, just in film in general, and what kind of catalyzed that sort of thing. But also just how your childhood was and what got you here to UCM. Yeah. It
was good. I'm very tight with my family. There's 4 of us, my parents, my brother. We're all really close. But what got me into digital media and into film specifically was my dad. My dad, he majored in TV broadcasting when he was in college, and then he's been in that industry for, right now, 20, 30 years.
So it's like a family thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm following in my dad's footsteps.
Nice.
So I just kind of always was raised with movies and with the knowledge of movies, and then I realized in about middle school, high school, that I liked the behind the scenes of movies more than the movie. Okay. And then that's how it started.
Nice.
And then I got here, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
What made you choose UCM over because you're right there by Missouri.
I'm right at Mizzou.
Yeah, you're right at Mizzou. What made you just decide to go here instead of there?
Mizzou is very big. Very big.
Yeah,
it is. And I'm an introvert, so that already stresses me out. And Warrensburg from Boonville, it's hour and a half, depending on how fast I drive. Okay. So it's a good distance. I've been able to go home and come back in the same day. Okay. But I can live my own little life on my own, and I like it. Okay. And then my funny story, my dad went to high school with Joe Moore, who is a professor here in the DMP department. So we came here, we met Joe, and my parents, they kind of reunited with him. And I was like, well, now I have to go here. Yeah, not yet. But now, doesn't that make things a little weird? It's if you miss a day or you miss an assignment, I missed an assignment this week, and he goes, "You need to do it. I'm gonna call your dad." I was like, "I'll call my dad and tell him." But I love you, Joe. Joe's great. Joe
Moore. It's sort of similar with me. So down in Clinton, right? The Chamber of Commerce we have there, David Lee, he's in charge of it. But they went to college here together. So I did my internship with David, but also anytime I work with David. He always if I say, "Oh, I'm working with David," Joe will go, "Well, you better do a good job," because I know David and I know he'll tell me if you did a good job. And I'm like, that's. I won't say it sucks, but at the same time, it's man. Yeah. I always do a good job for anybody I work with. But you know what I mean? It's having that little bit on your shoulder, yeah. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. I will, but. So for me, my story is a little long. Of course, I'm 34. So you're 21.
21. I'll be 22 in May.
Okay, 22 in May. May what?
12th.
12th.
May
okay.
12th, 2002.
Victoria's is May 4th. She's a Star Wars baby. We'll get to Victoria.
She knew.
We'll get to that here in a minute. And then mine's April 26th, and then my wife, Tina, she's May 1st. So we're all kind of right there.
Yeah.
So now we don't really celebrate, me and Tina, we don't celebrate our birthdays anymore. We just celebrate Victoria's because who's going to do 3 birthday parties in like 3 weeks, in like
close.
2 weeks? Yeah. It's not going to happen.
That's a lot of work.
So now we just focus on Victoria. But so for me, I actually was born in Tucson, Arizona in 1989.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought you were from Missouri.
Not many people do know that. No, I'm not even from Missouri.
I thought you were.
No, yeah. So I was born in Tucson, Arizona. Me and my mom left there when I was 6 months. And then most of my family lives in Des Moines, Iowa. Now I have some kind of spanned across the area of the United States, but I pretty much lived most of my life in Des Moines. Half of my childhood was in Peoria because we moved there when my mom married my stepdad.
Gotcha.
So I do have another half brother. He's about 7 years younger than me. His name's Sean. Shout out to my brother Sean. Probably the best barber in Des Moines, period. I'm telling you, I'll show you some of his work. The dude, the reason I'm spoiled when I get my haircut, like it's hard for me to find a good barber down here because I'm so spoiled. Because
you're used to it.
I'm used to a good haircut.
He's so good.
But my mom, she actually was a hairstylist. So I had nobody really in the business. My mom was a hairstylist since I was a toddler.
You didn't want to follow in those footsteps?
No.
Oh, okay.
God, no. I know. No, I'm good. The stories I hear about them constantly being on their feet and like, even my brother's barber, and like getting splinters in between their fingers from hair. I'm like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah.
Not gonna do all that. So yeah, I was halfway there in my childhood, but most of the time from middle school up, I lived in Des Moines. Graduated in 07. Right as I got out of high school, I went to the military, went to the Air Force. My job was, the technical term is aircraft armament systems technician, but really I was a weapons loader. So basically on the F-16 and the B-2, I loaded the bombs, missiles, ammunition, and stuff like that on the aircraft. Wow. So that was really a lot of so it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing it. Not something you can do outside the military. Like you can't just go to like a commercial airliner like, I have this. You know what I mean. Bomb? So
it's probably not good.
But it was a time of my life. I had served 8 years. 4 years was in Las Vegas, which I turned 21 in Las Vegas, and I remember half of it.
I bet. Yeah.
I barely remember half of it. And then my last half was here in Missouri. I was stationed at Whiteman. So that's how I met Tina. We met on Plenty of Fish, which is an online dating site. Met in 2012, I believe, somewhere late 2012. And then from there, the rest is history. We got married in 2016. Been married ever since. We had a Doctor Who themed wedding, which
that's so cool.
Yeah, I actually had, for any Doctor Who fans out there, during this time is during like the 50th anniversary. So like I had, not including myself, I had 12 groomsmen who were different iterations of the Doctor. Like so they all wore like the same suits, but they each had like their own little unique thing that you could tell which Doctor they were. Wow. And I was of course David Tennant, my favorite. I had the pinstripe suit. Yeah. I had the whole shebang. Yeah. I had the whole thing.
Love that.
So that was a lot of fun. And then now, of course, my whole life revolves around Victoria. She was born in 2019, May 4th, 2019. She actually was not supposed to be born until I think she was 3 weeks early.
Wow.
Yeah.
She knew.
She
knew you were a Star Wars fan.
She was. Her mom and dad are nerds, and her dad wanted her to be a Star Wars baby, and I even told Tina this.
Yep.
I go, what if she's born on Star Wars Day? She goes, I'll hate it if she's born on Star Wars Day. And I was like, come on, kid.
She heard you.
Come on, kid. Let's do this. So anytime on her birthday, we would watch like a Star Wars movie so she can watch and enjoy it. She likes more of the cartoons, like the Clone Wars and stuff like that, because that's, she's a kid. Live action's not really her thing yet.
Right.
But yeah, that's my story. I mean, other than that, I've been a professional photographer and videographer since 2016.
You're good.
Thank you.
He's good. He's a photographer.
Thank you very much.
He's your guy.
So what really got me into film, I will kind of circle back to that. Sorry, I know I've gone on for quite a while. I apologize.
No, this is interesting.
What got me into film? I've always been a film lover since I was a kid. Right. I've always loved film. I always loved watching movies. But like, it wasn't until what first sparked it was in 2008. Me and my friend Ray, when we were living in Vegas, we went and saw the midnight premiere of The Dark Knight. Mm-hmm. Like that, back when midnight premieres actually were midnight time frame. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. Appreciate that. 10 minutes in. It's good to know. It's good to keep ourselves on track because I'll finish up so we can get some questions.
Sometimes we just start rambling a little bit.
Yeah, we have to get some questions. But no, what got me into it, that was the first catalyst, because after I walked out of that movie, I was just mind blown. Like the performances, how everything worked. And it wasn't until I actually got out of the military, what really sparked it was I watched, like I had a month time frame where I was about to go to college. So I had a month off just doing nothing. So I was going to get caught up on movies. I was like, let's watch a movie, especially more current ones. Ones I may have missed since I was working so much. I watched Whiplash. That was the first movie I saw. And that movie blew me away to the point where it sparked, because I was already a photographer, I was just starting out kind of as a photographer, but that sparked it really, of just like how that was made. And then from there, it just evolved, and here I am. Now, of course, I was a photographer, videographer, that was my main focus, but now that I've gone to do this more, I'll still do that to help bring in money for my family. But, my wife knows too, that's my passion. Like making movies is now what I want to do with my life.
Cool.
Directing, cinematographer, camera operator if it needs to be, but those are the main three that I want to pursue and be happy with doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Sticking to it, not changing it.
Well, let's get into some questions. You want to start off with some questions?
I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. Why don't you go ahead and start us off? Because what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go between one of us. Like, she'll answer one, we'll both answer. I'll answer one, we'll both answer. We may not get to all of them, but the ones we did not get into, when we come back from spring break, we will save some of them for the end of the live episode, and we will answer them there. Wow. And with whoever's our special guest, they will answer it as well. Okay? All right, so let's start off here. Which first one are we going to...
Let's just start with the first one. Okay. Because I feel like this is going to start hot take.
Okay.
It's going to be a hot take. Okay. I can tell. Oh, I'll go. I'll go. I'll go.
It's your turn. Right. I'm scared now.
What is your favorite movie, and what's your least favorite movie?
Okay. My favorite movie of all time. Now, I think everybody can agree. I think Nolan can agree with this. I think you can agree with this. Favorite does not necessarily mean the best. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's especially if you know filmmaking, there's an objective what's considered to be the best. Now, that can still be debated a little bit. But there's also what's just your favorite. It may not be the best thing in the world, but it's also it's something you love. For me, it's The Goonies. I can watch that movie all day, every day. I could be with the flu sitting on the couch, and I'll put on The Goonies and have a good time. Like, it's so much fun.
It's just like such a childhood.
It really
you feel like a kid watching it.
And especially, my childhood was very relatable to that, like with all the cursing and all the, getting your friends shit and everything like that. Like, that's what it was for, at least for my childhood. So it really resonated with me in that sense. My least favorite movie. Okay. When I first started off reviewing films, I think it was about 2016 is when I first started reviewing films. I saw a movie called Norm of the North with Rob Schneider. He was the voice. It's an animated polar bear who can talk to humans, and humans understand him for some reason. Like, they play it in the world like it's like the real world. That's how they structure this thing. But for some reason, the bear can talk to humans and he can understand them. I had such a negative physical reaction to this film. I walked out with like a migraine. My body hurt, my brain hurt, my everything hurt. I walked out just like, I think it was I was so tense with like the anger throughout the whole movie that's probably like the most, to me that's the worst film, one of the worst films ever made.
Interesting.
And that one's my least favorite.
Interesting.
Someone asked me to watch it, I'll probably put my head through a window first before I even dare watch that movie again. So what's yours then? What's your favorite and what's your least favorite?
My least favorite, which I have mentioned it on this show before, is Scream, Wes Craven. That was the movie that got me into film, but like truly into movies. And deciding I wanted to make movies. I love it. The first one's iconic. I could watch it on repeat all the time.
It's a great movie.
My least favorite, I feel like I need to back up a little bit.
Am I gonna walk off the stage already?
Probably. I'm very sorry. Hereditary. I cannot explain how much I do not like this movie. In my opinion, made no sense. No plot line.
No plot line.
Did not like this movie at all. If you can explain the plot line to me,
we'll talk afterwards.
But I personally, there was nothing good about this movie. I will say, the only interesting scene, and spoiler if you haven't seen it, but if you haven't seen it, you're probably not going to watch it. The only interesting scene is when the daughter dies. And it's because you're not expecting it. That is the only thing that I went, oh wow.
I need to take a little drink here real quick.
Icarus agrees. Thank you, Icarus.
Okay, so I've never fired a co-host on a show before.
It's not starting today. It's not starting today. Check it.
Okay, I'm gonna try and change both your guys' minds. I'm serious. That to me is the best modern horror movie.
Nope.
Best modern horror movie of the 2010s. Like to me, the 2010s is like a renaissance of horror.
That's true.
And for me, Hereditary sits at the top. And I cannot believe it.
My gosh. Can I get points if I say I really liked Midsommar?
Okay, Midsommar is amazing.
Midsommar's good.
Midsommar is
really
absolutely
like that.
amazing.
Florence
I love
Pugh?
that movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about Hereditary afterwards. So let's move on to another question here. These ones are kind of, let's see, I want to pick one that could be fun.
Fun.
Let's pick one here from another audience member. If you could be cast yourself in any movie, what would it be?
Any movie?
Yeah. If you can cast yourself in one.
I joke that I really want to be in a movie with Kevin James. Because I just love Kevin James so much.
Would it be a comedy or like a horror from Becky?
Comedy. He was good in Becky. If you've never seen Becky, Kevin James, go look at it. But probably, I don't know, probably like an Adam Sandler movie would be good. The Wedding Singer. I feel like The Wedding Singer would be fun. That'd be fun to be in.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I just want like a comedy, just something.
So comedy? Yeah, because I couldn't do anything specific. For me, any movie with David Fincher as director, sign me up. Instantly. David Fincher is one of my favorite directors. Still working today. Actually, that might go into a question later on. But yeah, anything with David Fincher, sign me up.
Oh yeah.
All right, what's the next one you're gonna pick?
Let's do. This one was a little sentimental. What movie quote do you live by, if you have one?
There's a couple. So when I was growing up as a kid, there's one that you'd be surprised. Like I'd say not a kid, but like a teenager. Because during that time, it's like a very tumultuous time. You're not sure if what your life's going to be like and stuff like that. So there's a quote from T2, and you know this, Nolan. There's no fate but what you make for yourself. So you make your own fate and stuff like that. For me now, you guys heard it before on the channel. I live by this now as an adult. Is the Rocky Balboa quote that I shared from a previous episode.
Right.
Like that quote to me, anybody should live by that quote because life is very hard. Life can be very tough. But as long as you just keep going, you find a way, it'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? So think those two. What about you? What's one that you think of?
I don't know if I have a specific movie quote. Something that's kind of not as sentimental, but something kind of dumb is we just watched A League of Their Own on Cinema Sit Down, and there's a scene with Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna, and she takes the baseball and throws it at the girl because she's like, oh, you're probably going to go home. And then she's wrong, and she says, okay, some of them are going to go home. And I feel like in my head, if I'm wrong about something, I just kind of go, okay, some of them are going home. Yeah. But that's kind of the only thing that right now that I can think of.
And I love that scene because it shows that some people can make preemptive assumptions about you until you do something like, oh. And
you're like, oh.
Okay, maybe that's
my bad.
I'm thinking the wrong way. That's a really good one. I like that.
But I just like that. I'm like, oh, some of them are going home.
Yep. All right. What another one? We didn't do one for introducing ourselves. What you said you have a hidden talent, and I'm wanting to know this hidden talent so bad right now.
I feel like we did. I showed you 2 of them.
You did. Okay.
But one of my go-to, and people are like, "What's your hidden talent?" I can pop my thumbs out of place.
Oh.
I can hear our director.
Oh God.
I just whoop.
Nolan had to walk away too from that one. Like, oh God.
Nolan's our floor director, by the way.
Yeah, Nolan's our floor director tonight right now, and oh my God.
And you just.
Oh God. Okay. We're moving on. Mine's not that crazy. Do you have another one? That's.
Another one?
You said you have maybe 1 or 2, but.
I can.
Oh, you can. Yeah. There. You can get it on that one. Can
you see it?
Hold on.
Yep. I can also. I can cross my eyes.
I think Nolan's gonna, get right close up on it, right there. Boom.
I can also cross my eyes.
Oh my goodness.
I got a lot going on.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
I like that. That's actually really cool. Trick. I like that. I don't have anything fun like that. I don't, sadly. I mean, I used to be very double jointed as a kid.
Really?
Probably not so much anymore. Like I used to be able to turn my arm all the way around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to be able to do that kind of thing as a kid. Not so much anymore. I will say I don't say I can prove it right here on the spot, but I would say I've always have very quick reflexes. Like I couldn't explain why. Like something falls, all of a sudden without even thinking about it, just grab it real fast, or something happens. There was one time Victoria was when she was a baby, she was at the playground, she's about to fall off a thing, and I was looking away, but I saw at the corner of my eye, and I instantly just grab them like this. But they're all, I've always had them since I was a kid, and Victoria actually picks them up on herself.
Really?
It's like, that's why these days I don't worry too much. Oh, we're at 20? Oh, crap. All right, let's go 5 more minutes. And we'll kind of rapid fire.
We'll just rapid fire through
We'll rapid fire through some. Sorry, we're just having a lot of fun here.
This is so much fun.
Yeah, we'll answer more later on as time goes on. But yeah, just real quick, she's able to catch herself now. Like, she's able to do a lot of things that I used to be able to do as a kid. So, and my last one, not many people know this, I'm a poker player.
Really?
Yeah, I play a lot of poker, Texas Hold'em.
You got
Omaha.
a good bluff?
When I was in Vegas, I used to, like, I'd only go like once a month or something like that. I'd buy in with 400, I'd walk out with about 16.
Wow.
And I'd play for like 8 hours.
Interesting.
So I used to be, I don't do it much anymore just because time is busy. Now I know I can make money from it, but maybe that thing slow down. All right, let's do, you pick the next one. We'll probably do 2 more.
Rapid fire. What movie were you obsessed with as a kid? Yeah,
this goes back to the, oh boy.
Your wee little youngin' days.
Wee little youngin' days. So one was Lost World Jurassic Park. I kind of talked about it off screen a little bit. My stepdad, he used to own a video rental store. And so those cardboard things, he used to have a big one of like the Lost World Jurassic Park, one of like the velociraptors coming out of the grass. Right. So I used to have that in my bedroom after it got, unpopular. And then also I just loved dinosaurs as a kid. So like Jurassic Park, Lost World, loved them. Watched it all the time. I used to have like the old the dinosaurs they used to release to have for toys. What about you? What was one of the ones you have?
I think the one that I was the most obsessed with is Journey to the Center of the Earth with Josh Hutcherson and Brendan Fraser.
Interesting choice.
I love that movie. I still do. But I think I watched that, I want to say, once a week as a kid for years.
There's one more because I was obsessed with them as a kid, but I still, like Power Rangers, the movie.
The movie was so good.
The movie, with the original cast and all that stuff. Like, I still watch this day and still have a good time with it, but I was obsessed with it as a kid. Just because the fact that it was Power Rangers I like watching on TV was on the big screen.
Yep.
Let's see. Let me pick one more, and then we'll have you pick one more and wrap it up. We'll try to make these quick. What director inspired your taste in movies?
Steven Spielberg.
Ooh, okay.
I used to say Tarantino.
Okay.
Because Tarantino was my dad's favorite.
Yeah.
But I think I like more Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
I've seen more of him. He's a very action-adventure person. That's kind of my go-to.
Now, of course, like Damien Chazelle got me from Whiplash, got me into it, but overall, David Fincher's mine.
Right.
And now also Denis Villeneuve, he's also one that's inspired me now as I'm getting older. Those two, like their films, that's the kind of style I like to do, psychological thrillers or some kind of psychological drama. That's like the genre for me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love. What I would love to do is if I go do filmmaking.
Right.
All right, you pick last one.
Last one. What movie is the most visually stunning that you've ever seen?
Oh, man, that's a good one. Ooh, visually stunning.
Visually stunning.
That's a hard one.
Now you're thinking about every movie you've ever seen.
I'd have to just think of ones like off the top of my head, honestly. Interstellar really comes to mind, even though it's all CGI, like, you know what I'm saying? I will say anything, 1917 was also very visually stunning.
That one's good.
Another one comes to mind is Arrival, Denis Villeneuve's film, Arrival. That to me was extremely stunning to see. Just the wide shots of landscapes was really good. I could probably think of more, off the top of my head, but those three come to mind right now. Like if I'm thinking about something like that just like blew my mind when I saw it visually on the screen. I would say most recently Dune too. Dune. Denis Villeneuve is really good. Like his cinematographers are really amazing at making something look good cinematography wise. Not just a landscape or something, but just like, scenes and stuff like that. So what about you?
This one's a little kind of newer. I watched it recently because we watched it on Cinema Sit Down. I'm gonna say Baby Driver.
That's a really good one too.
Cinematography.
Yeah, that one's a really good one too. It
might not be the absolute best, but for my brain, the way it's edited, watching that is visually so satisfying to see, and I love it. I could watch that movie so many times.
That's one that I know Nolan loves that one, so that one's one of his favorites.
Yep.
But all right, folks, there's a lot more questions we will get to, but we will get to that after the spring break. Then we'll answer them answer a couple at the end of every show. Try and get through the show at a good time, and we can answer those for you. Keep those because I know you guys took the time to bring those questions in, and we will get those answered. That'll do us for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. More importantly, what did you think of our questions? What do you think about getting to know us more? If you have any more questions for us, please drop them in the comment section below. Also, if you like what you watched, hit that like button, punch, and subscribe to the channel so you receive all of our great content we have for you here on ReelTime.
ReelTime.
That's all we have for you today. I'm Josh Williams.
I'm Jordan Burke.
And thanks for keeping it real with ReelTime.